Hi, friends. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday, and it's actually the beginning of February. So my disclaimer is that while I'm recording this, it's actually not February, it's the day before. And today we have the most sun we've had probably in 3 weeks. And my bird is going absolutely insane, and the dogs are running around like lunatics. So I apologize if there's background noise. In an attempt to keep that to a minimum, I'm using the earbuds today. So hopefully there's not a ton of background. If there is, well, that's life. That's life when you live with pets. So February is Heart Health Month, which, I mean, we kind of know that that one really gets publicized a lot. It's also Gut Health Month, which, I mean, unless you are thinking about gut health a lot, that's one that you probably don't think about too much. And just fun fact, I mean, a lot of other things happening this month. Of course, there's, the chocolate holiday and Black History Month and Humpback Whale Awareness Month. So lots of stuff going on in February, even though it's a short month. So hopefully you take something out of all of that and, spend a little time just not being so serious. So we are actually going to talk about gut health today, actually, and heart health a little bit combined, because the two things are related nutritionally. So the nutrients that I'm going to focus on today are probiotics, postbiotics, but also, one of the things that is really important for heart health is fiber. And if you know me at all, you know that I'm always pushing fiber, more fiber, more fiber. So this one nutrient can do double duty. So something to keep in mind. But for our purposes today, we're going to keep it concise, and we are going to talk about probiotics, prebiotics, and postbiotics. Now, why is this so important for your gut? Because this is what maintains the environment. The probiotics are the microbiome. These are the microorganisms that live in your gut, in your lower gut. And it is basically what helps you to get the nutrition that you need out of food. It's what helps you to boost your immune system. There's a mood component to it, stress component. So even though we think, what could digestion possibly have with my whole body? It really does. It affects everything. Everything begins in your gut. So what does that mean for us as women? So as women, we don't respond to food the same way every single day. We don't live a linear life, which means that what we do on Monday of this week might have an outcome completely different on Thursday of 2 weeks from now. And it could be day to day. It could be over the course of your menstrual cycle or over the course of different life stages, right? Perimenopause is one where we have absolutely no idea what's going on. Before that, we have PMS or PMDD, if you are so unfortunate to be suffering with that, PCOS, all of these conditions that affect your hormones. And then those hormones affect how you use food, how you react to food in your system. So there's a lot that goes on there. So when we look at our gut health as a woman, we can't just take what happened yesterday and apply it to today. We have to look at it in terms of the general consensus, right? So what happens more often than not? If more often than not you are bloated, then that means that there is a bigger problem, right? That means that it is something in your environment, something you're eating, something you're not eating, a hormone imbalance that you need to focus on and get into under control. It could be a lot of things. So when we look at how we treat things, we can't just say, I'm going to give up gluten forever, or I'm going to add in all of this fiber, because when you have cyclic hormones or seasonal hormones, seasons being different life stages and seasons, you're going to notice that things don't always show up the same way. So when you're creating your plan, you have to look at the exceptions to the rules and then go from there. Okay, so way more about that, as we go on in other Wellness Wednesday talks. But for today, let's get right down to probiotics. And probiotics are the bacteria that maintain your gut health. In general, they can be affected by hormones. They can be affected by what you eat or don't eat, but they're super important. Now, what is the difference between a probiotic and a prebiotic? The prebiotic is the food that the probiotics eat. So it's the food that those little bacteria need in order to thrive. And why is that important? Because you really want these little bacteria to thrive so that they can do what needs to be done to have a healthy immune system, to have healthy digestion, to get the most out of your food. So we really want to support our gut microbiome. Usually if there's something going on like bloating or constipation, or of course, this is no sweeping statement, but immune system, moods, those things, look at your gut and see if you're doing everything you can there, okay? Because all of the medications in the world aren't going to be able to help you if the gut isn't healthy as a baseline, okay? So the prebiotics are the food that we use to fuel the probiotics. Make sure I said that right. So things that we don't digest, okay? So when you eat a food, there's parts of that food that you digest, and in some cases, like in the cases of carbs, we don't digest all of that carb. If there's fiber in there, we don't digest fibers, okay? So the non-digested pieces of foods, so in oats, there's fiber. We don't digest the fiber part, but we get a lot of other things, right? We get the carbs out of that. We get the energy. We might get different vitamins and minerals from that, those oats, but the fiber largely just passes right through until it gets to the large intestine where your microbiome is. And then that's where those little probiotics, that little microorganism, eats those fiber, the fiber component to that food. So really important to have fiber. And like I talked about elimination diets, that's usually the first thing that people cut out is the fiber, because they associate that with bloating. So if you're cutting that out, you're starving those little guys. That's not cool. So think about that. You want to, if you have to take it out for a little bit, bring it back in. So you want to have a variety of different foods, fruits, veggies, whole grains, nuts, seeds. All of these have fibers in them, plus different nutrients. So when you're eating a variety of foods, you're giving your microbiome a variety of different nutrients that it needs. So recently, there has been an increase in talk around postbiotics, okay? So this is just a really nice way to say the digested pieces of the food that those probiotics eat. So probiotics are the little microorganisms. Prebiotics are the foods that they eat. And I should note here that fruits and veggies can be prebiotics, but not all prebiotics are fruits and veggies, right? So, and the other way around too, right? So oatmeal, let's see what else. I wrote a whole bunch down. Flaxseed, apples, asparagus. You've got a whole bunch of different prebiotics. So probiotics, microorganism, prebiotics, food for the microorganism, postbiotics is the digested pieces of the prebiotics, so the waste material, okay? Now, it might be waste to the probiotic, but to you, those little microorganisms, but to you, it's a really valuable nutrient. So things like vitamin A and vitamin K, we know that we need those things. Things like short chain fatty acids, which are superfoods for probiotics. So creating more healthy bacteria. What else do we get there? We also get an antimicrobial amino acid. So it's a component that keeps the bad bacteria from taking up residence in your gut. Okay, so it's actually working to keep the ratio of good bacteria to bad bacteria in a good place. Okay, so what do? How do you make sure that you're getting enough of these probiotics to boost your immune system, to help with moods, to fuel hormones and enzymes and all of the things that happens in the gut? Well, adding in a probiotic, so those little probiotic capsules, or however you like to take them, adding one of those in every season. You don't have to take them every day. If you're eating a variety of food and you're eating some foods that have probiotics in them, you can take the probiotic supplements every season. So on the first day of spring, you get a package, you take it until it's gone, and then don't worry about it again until the first day of summer. It's a really easy way to kind of re-inoculate without going into like supplement fatigue, right? It's a real thing. Taking a bunch of pills every day, people stop taking them, compliance is down, it's just a whole thing. You don't need it if you're eating a varied diet. So the other thing that you can do is you can also eat a variety of plants, right? So eating lots of fruits and veggies, lots of oats and high fiber foods, nuts and seeds, having these foods, whole grains, having these foods in your diet routinely will help you to have more of these probiotics naturally in your diet. Now, if you're experiencing bloating, or if you're experiencing constipation, or any GI stuff, the initial reaction, like I mentioned before, is to cut all of those things out, right? To cut out the fruits and veggies, to cut out the beans, the lentils, stop eating nuts, don't eat wheat, right? You try to cut all that stuff out, which is great for a moment or two. Give your gut a rest, and then start to systematically add certain things back in one at a time after your gut has had a little bit of rest. Okay, so the best way to keep your gut healthy for longer is to have consistent fiber foods, probiotics, omega-3s, have those things, also good for heart health. But we're going to have days. We're going to have days where we get some bloating. We're going to have some PMS related constipation. We're going to have some thyroid related gluten intolerance. These things happen. You take out what you think might be the cause, and you slowly start to add them back in after some rest. Now, I don't recommend that you just go willy-nilly and start cutting things out. Doing it with guidance, of course, is the best way, but cut out some things and then add them back in. All right. So your probiotics seasonally, also during flu season or back to school season, if you have kids at home, or just anytime that you're like really feeling stressed. When you're stressed, your gut suffers. So adding in that probiotic is just a little bit of insurance. Having the fiber foods, okay, so lots of fibers when you can tolerate it, back off when you can't, add it back in. It's a game, it's a dance, it's making sure that you're getting more in tune with how you feel day to day so that you can start to see the patterns. You can start to see where your triggers are. You can start to see where your areas of problems are going to come in, and then you can plan for those, or you can react to them once you know how it feels. Okay, so tracking your period, your whole cycle, tracking your symptoms, tracking the foods that you take. You don't have to do all of those things at once, but pick one thing and focus on it for a little bit till you get the rhythm down, till you're more in tune with it, and then move on to the next thing. And then the last thing is, lots of plants, lots of fiber foods. Okay, lots of variety in your week to week, not necessarily the day. You don't have to have 7 different dinners and 7 different lunches and 7 different breakfasts. Pick 1 or 2 breakfasts for the season, 1, 2, 3 different lunches that you can kind of rotate through, and a few different dinners every week. and then add in your favorite things, throw the pizza in there, the things that you like to have, and work in the healthier options in between. So we talk about that in the Mindful and Balanced membership, how to meal plan and that kind of stuff. So just think lots of variety in the way that makes sense to you. All right, my friends, that's all I have on prebiotics and probiotics. I kind of rambled on a little bit longer than I wanted to there. But I do want to tell you about an offer that I have coming, a new course. So I have a mini course for you on gut health. It's something that you can use to get a good foundation. It's self-led, very affordable, and you can kind of just get some basic understanding of what's going on in your gut and some of the first steps that you can do to find relief. Now, the offer that I have right now, because I am just launching the Mindful and Balanced membership, and I am just launching this course for the first time ever for either of these things. So if you enroll in the Mindful and Balanced membership, then you get the course for free. So, kind of a no-brainer to do that. In the Mindful and Balanced membership, I created this program because all of my clients, and I kid you not, every single client at some point has said to me, I just need somebody to tell me what to eat. Just tell me what to eat, and everything else in my life is going to fall into place. So the Mindful and Balanced membership is the place for women to come to know what to eat. We talk about different topics. There are recipes based on different conditions, right? So recipes for PMS and recipes for bloating and gut health. And the database is growing, and the themes and the lessons are going to be added to each and every month. And there are opportunities for hot seat coachings. So you have an issue that you're struggling with, you need a little help, you sign up for a hot seat coaching, we come in, we record it, and then that is helpful to others in the membership, because if you have the problem, then somebody else does too. So recipes are probably why you come, but you stay for the support. All right, so Mindful and Balanced membership. Open now, you can enroll in that anytime. And when the Gut Health Mindful and Balanced Gut course is complete and ready to go, you'll get that for free. Or you can just simply get the course if you just want to, dig into some gut health. So that is coming up down the pike. We learned all about probiotics and gut health today. Have a happy February. I hope you get more sunshine than I have had, one day in like 3 weeks. And we will be talking more again next week in Coffee Talk on another topic that you can use. All right, friends, as always, if you have questions about today's topic or anything I covered here, drop them below and I will come back and check them out. Have a wonderful Wednesday, friends, and I will see you next week.